Hello, beautiful women, day 24. I'm pretty sure that I'm live right now. Yeah, that should be working. And if it isn't, please just let me know. Just let me know. But I think that everything is fine. Okay, so today we are answering questions, or let's say I'm answering questions. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish questions that I would like to talk about. But before I go ahead and do so, there is an announcement that I would like to make. It's not really an announcement, but I just would like to bring awareness to the fact that I normally work at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, during the day, 8 o'clock at night, Monday to Sunday, Monday to Saturday mostly. And I have no problem answering questions. But please, please, please don't send me blood tests. I'm not going to read them. Professionally, I am a nutrition and dietetic clinician. I went to university. I created this page. I have an online program. I have an online business, but that does not mean that it's okay for you to send me blood test results expecting me to read them for you. Please don't ask me about medications. Please don't ask me about things that are health related if you're not one of my clients. If you jump on board, if you work one-on-one with me, if you become part of the program, if you become part of the CHE community, then it's a completely different different situations. But if I don't know you and we have just having a great chat on Facebook, that does not mean that I can give you any advice on supplements, medications, that I can read your blood test results and I can give you tips on how to boost your fertility and get your period back. And sometimes I'm definitely not the right person when it comes to giving you tips in terms of which job to do or which relationship to have. And I really hope that you understand that this comes from the bottom of my heart, and it's just me trying to give you the best service and the best advices and recommendations. So please do not take it personally. And also at the same time, if you have been working with me for quite a long time, and especially if you're part of the Period Comeback program, you have many different touch points with me, especially the group calls and the one-on-ones. And I'm okay with you sending questions, but please don't expect me answering questions within even 12 hours, because sometimes, I believe it or not, I do sleep and I do have a family and I have my private life. I do understand that sometimes it's really easy with an online program to expect very quick answers, because Claudia, if you're online and you're working online, why you're not answering to me? The reality is that I really don't have to. And if you go and see your doctor, or if you go and see your endocrinologist, or even if you go and see a dietitian wherever you live and you have that kind of face-to-face conversation, would you actually send them a text message as soon as you leave the clinic, asking them for more advices and recommendation? Would you send them a message and with you, like getting your heart out if you've never met them? So I hope that this doesn't come through as too harsh, but it's simply that I take my job very seriously and my cup is very full, and I'm really lucky to be working with fantastic women that are super committed. So if that's you, if you're super committed and if you want to get the right support, the right guidance, come and join us. My one-on-ones at the moment are at full capacity, so I'm not going to be able to really serve you on a one-on-one basis. But if you want to decide to join the protocol, or like simply doing the online program, please let me know and I can definitely help you out with that. But don't reach out sending me documents, sending me PDF, asking me questions, and also demanding for a very quick response, because we can all be kind, we can all be very empathetic and understanding, and I'm trying my best, and every single day I'm showing up my face just to support you. I have created this Facebook group so you can get free support. I'm always sending out free resources. The March period party, it's a free challenge for all of you to participate and getting some extra support, but that does not mean that I'm working for free, okay? With all the love and the respect. Now, having said that, let's move on with the first question. So the first one, it's coming from Sophia. We had a conversation last year at this time. That was the first time that we spoke. And Sophia is asking how to deal with regret about not doing it earlier. It eats me inside after I got my period back. And that's one of the reasons, because I'm always banging on the fact that if you want to get better, don't sit and wait. Don't wait for the next 6 months. Don't wait to be stuck in quasi recovery for 4 years, 10 years, 12 years before deciding to seek support. Because as Sophia said, the regret may pop up, the regret of not doing it earlier. So then by now you could already have a family, or you could be in a completely different mindset, or you could be living a completely different life instead of still being here on the same Facebook page, still researching the same articles, still listening to the same podcast. And when it comes to you, Sophia, in terms of the regret, it's just something that you have to make peace with. And obviously, if I think about my situation and my health situation at the moment, I wish that I could go back 15 years ago and change things around. Like sometimes I really daydream about it, and I simply see myself living my life differently 15 years ago, and knowing that if I did that, I would be more energetic right now. I wouldn't be dealing with such a massive health condition that I have to come to terms with, because it sounds like for the rest of my life I will need to deal with it. So, and the thing is that, Sophia, you made a decision back then not to seek treatment and not to get any support and guidance because of whatever reasons. And, we always make up excuses. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I can do it on my own. Like the usual self-sabotaging behaviors that normally women uses. But the reality is that now you're in a position where the only thing that you can do is accept the fact that the old version of you could not invest, didn't want to invest. And now it's just about acceptance of the body, of your body right now, acceptance of the fact that you possibly have wasted almost 12 years of your life, and you can get them back, meaning that you can start creating the life that you want from now moving forward. But if you get stuck looking backward, your life is going to feel really miserable. As I said, it's going to really eat you up inside, and there is nothing that you can do about it. Because also we had the conversation 1 year ago, and if we had to go back to 1 year ago, possibly we will have the same conversations of here, because back then you were not up for it, you were not ready. So my best advice for you is to simply let it go, move forward, look at the rest of your life. Look at what's in front of you instead of what's behind you. Because if you get stuck in the present, you get really sad and you feel really miserable. If you look at the future, then you will see lots of opportunities, possibilities, and that's where you want to spend most of your life. Martina, what are some indicators that your body is not digesting and absorbing nutrients properly, and what steps can you take to improve the process? It really depends, Martina. Some of the symptoms can be, the big one is not having a period, being low in energy, being anemic or low in iron. Sometimes also thyroid comes to play. Something else that people normally notice is bloating straight after a meal. Sometimes is not pooping enough, so being slightly constipated, or sometimes having major bouts of diarrhea. Sometimes it's acid reflux, also known as heartburn, or it's pain in the stomach, having low level of B12. Otherwise, sometimes you get very brittle nails, very loose hair. So these are all signs and symptoms that your body is not doing well, is not performing optimally. And sometimes that could also indicate that even though you're eating the food, you're not absorbing it completely. What can you do about it? It really depends on your situation. So if you're suffering from gastroparesis, then we will talk about having small meals throughout the day instead of big meals, and we will come in with digestive enzymes, a little movement after eating, more of a liquid diet towards the beginning of the process to then increase your food intake as you move along. If instead you had an autoimmune disease such as being celiac, for example, then we would need to remove gluten from your diet. If you're anemic, I would definitely look at not only the absorption of iron, but also the storage of iron, and also where are you losing it. Then we could also do some testing. We could also do many other things to really get a good understanding of what is going on, how you can fix it, so you can move towards healing, and how we can sustain that healing process. And Martina, I know that there is no straightforward answer, because if someone came to you and said, oh, you know, there is a generic answer for all the women that are suffering from this, they will be lying, because there is no straightforward answer at all. And it's I think that you really need a customized approach if that's something that you're suffering with, and you may need to do also some further testing if it's really really bad. But normally I will say also, if you had to do any testing, starts with some blood test results, because they always give you an indications of where you are and the things that really need to be patched up straight away. And most of the time you will know, okay? Sometimes also people experience a great fatigue after having a meal, and so that's already to me a red flag that the nutrients are not absorbed very well. Yeah, and there is so much to say about this topic, but I think that it's time for me to move to the next question. The other one is, if my temperature rises, does it mean that I'm ovulating? Well, that's, I think, one of the biggest mistakes that women tend to do. They do believe that when they see that temperature spike, it means that they are ovulating and it's time to have sex. Normally, when you see the temperature spikes, you have already missed ovulation, and your progesterone has already started to increase, which means that you are in the luteal phase, which is the second part of the menstrual cycle after ovulation. So if you have sex when you notice your temperature increasing, you have missed your most fertile window. It does not mean that possibly you're not going to be able to get pregnant, because it could happen, but you have missed a great fertile window. Why temperature rises? Because after ovulation, the egg gets released, the progesterone increases our basal body temperature. If fertility happens, then the progesterone keeps on rising weeks after weeks, and for the next few weeks, obviously, hopefully as well. And if it doesn't, if the egg doesn't get fertilized, then the corpus luteum breaks down, and then you're going to have a menstruation somewhere between 10 to 14 days later. So the rise in temperature is caused by the progesterone rising in the luteal phase, not by ovulation. Another question that was really interesting for me is, what do you do? This woman, she came around and she said, Claudia, what do you do? You always say just join us, but I don't really know what you do. And I think that it's a really interesting question, because sometimes I just take it for granted that I've been in this space for such a long time that women know me and they really understand what I do. By trade, I am a nutrition and dietetic clinician. I have plenty of experience with women's health and hormones, and also with eating disorder recovery and disorder behaviors around food and training. So normally when women work with me on a one-on-one or part of the period comeback protocol, what I offer, it's basically a 360 kind of support. So I normally start by checking your food diary, exercise diary, stress level, how many times you go to the bathroom. I check your blood test results, any ultrasound, anything that you have, anything under the sun. I really want to get to know you. And after that, I normally put together a treatment protocol. After the treatment protocol is created, then I normally encourage you to stick to it to the best of your capabilities. And after that, we will have regular chats and regular support just to see where you're struggling, what's coming up for you. And most of the time, women, they don't really need the many advices in terms of nutrition and exercise, but it's more about the mindset in terms of making those changes. And it's also dealing with the weight gain and the comments, and so on and so forth. Through the period comeback protocol, also you get access to a 12 weeks membership portal. So just to get more knowledge and more support in terms of boosting your fertility, boosting your hormones, and also protecting your mental health from the diet industry, let's say. And I also offer group calls. We meet every single Tuesday morning, and it could be a Monday evening or night for you. And that's where we get together. It's a fantastic group of women at the moment. We were 10 of us last week. At the moment, there are 15 women altogether, and 12 of them are the most active, which is why I'm saying that at the moment it's capacity, because it's really important to keep the focus, and 12 women all at the same time. Lots of energy is needed, which is why right now that's where we are. But just in case that's something that it's really appealing to you, let me know, and we will see what we can do. And during the group calls, we talk about all the things, hormones, all the things, disorder behaviors, all the things about fertility, period, second period, first period, third period, and so on and so forth. It's a fantastic group of women, extremely supportive. They are lifting each other up in the most beautiful ways. And I am so thankful and so grateful that I've attracted the most gorgeous soul in this planet. And they're really aligned, and they send each other messages after the end of the group calls. And I know that they just have love for each other. And I am so happy, so grateful that I've created that. And if you're part of the Period Comeback Protocol, and if you're part of the CHE community, just a reminder that I love you, and I just have your best interest at heart. I'm gonna get teary, so let's move on to the next question. And I really hope, Jess, that I've answered your question in terms of what do I do. If you want to know more about it, and for all of you, just remember that you can jump on a free 30 minutes call. We can have a chat, and I can have a better understanding if we are the right fit. Sometimes I jump on a call with a woman, and I really know straight away that I cannot support that woman, and then normally I will let you know if that's the case. If instead I think that I can help you, then I'm gonna let you know more about what it looks like to work with me. And don't be afraid of jumping on a call with me. I'm not here for the hard sell. So if you're afraid that you're gonna get stuck with someone that really wants you to join something when on the call, that's not my cup of tea. That's not what I want. I really want your commitment. I want you to want to do this and to be working with me. And first of all, I really need to get to know you. So if that's something that you're interested in, please book a free call and let's make that happen. Another question that's from Brie. Where is my period? Meaning she had the first period and she didn't get her second period. Normally, I see that happen a lot. And sometimes it's simply because the body decides to give a period, but it doesn't have enough energy to give a second period. Sometimes the first period happens after taking different medications. So for example, Provera, Clomid, and so on and so forth. And sometimes women don't want to hear that. And they're kind of in denial that the medication really helped them to get to the finish line. But most of the time that's the case, especially when you don't see the second period. Whenever you don't see the second period, there are some further testings that needs to be done, but it's always very important to go back to scratch, meaning, am I supporting my body enough? Am I managing my stress? Am I regulating my nervous system? Have I changed my exercise routine? And am I taking the supplements? Am I taking the herbs? Am I doing all the things that I talked about with the professional that has been following me through this journey? And if your answer is maybe, or yes, or I'm not sure, if your answer is sorry, maybe not sure, then it's better for you to go and speak with a professional. If the answer is yes, maybe further testings are needed just to make sure that we don't leave any stones unturned. And the last question, I don't really know how to answer this one, but there was basically a correlation between taking THC, which is basically the medical cannabis oil, and these regulated periods. The research is not there yet. And I heard lots of women taking cannabis oil for an extended period of time and still having regular cycles. Sometimes when women stop taking the THC oil, it's because they don't need it any longer. Maybe their stress level has decreased them dramatically, or maybe they've nourished their body enough so their anxiety is not an all-time high. And that's possibly the reasons why they get the period back. So it's not really the correlation between the THC and the periods and the hormones productions, but it's more because now they don't need the THC because they are well nourished, they have managed their stress, they're not spreading themselves too thin, and there is enough energy availability going around. Having said that, the research, as I said, is not there. I had a quick look and I'm going to have a thorough look in the next few days because I really wanted to get this video done and I didn't want to delay too much, and before I will get an answer, it's gonna like more than a month is gonna go by. But it's really interesting about this THC and period combination. So if you are one of those people that has been taking THC and you didn't get a period, and when you stopped taking it, your period came back, please let me know. I really would like to know from a clinical practice, so then I can follow up with the research and give the best advices to the future generation. For now, thank you for being here, thank you for asking the questions, thank you for listening in. Tomorrow, for all of you that have signed up to the period party, that have left me an email, you're going to receive video 1 on Saturday Australia, so it's going to be possibly Friday night for some of you, but please listen to it on Saturday morning when you wake up, and then another link on Sunday. So the first video is going to be very short, the second video a little bit longer, and I'm going to share 2 tools that are going to be incredible in terms of your recovery journey. Maybe you are taking advantage of them already, maybe you haven't, maybe you have forgotten about them. So please make sure that you listen to the replays. And then I will see you Monday morning, 7:30 Sydney, Australia time, where I'm going to talk about the 8 habits to drop so that you can get your period back. Last reminder, if you want to be part of the baby period comeback protocol, or if you want more information about it, just please write it down below, just in the comment section, let me know, or send me a message. Bye for now.